as well, but it is a lot harder to coordinate all of that.
Right, the Renji in here getting picked as the last one. We almost totally forgot about him. It's a balance between when he is gonna go online, so I think it's pretty much safe to say that in terms of like saving himself from the CCs that the Matsu as well as the Lianpo is gonna give on in here, he'll be able to make himself safe. For as long as I think still though, he needs the Sunbin to be around him to make sure that he is not gonna get flanked by either the Musashi or the Lane.
Yeah, definitely a decent pick. I mean, against, like you said, all these CCs, he has a way to purify himself with his second skill. But still not an easy game to play against. Musashi is able to lock him down. You've got the Lianpo able to jump towards the back line. And Arlie is always going to be keeping her eyes on you, trying to find an opening to burst you down. So tempo-wise, though, that might be an advantage going towards the way of the Direnje. The Direnje is a lot faster in terms of tempo. So if the side of Waibo is able to abuse that, we might see a quick win for them. But if Loops is able to bring this to the late game, then we might be in for a long one here.
Definitely, I agree. It will now just really always fall down onto execution of their draft. But for the meantime, just as we see, definitely a need of help in here for the Matsu to clear off the minion waves faster so that they can rotate towards the other end of the map. But surprising though, we can see Nuono actually wanting to back up the Byron more onto the top side on the early.
They want to make sure that the Byron has a good lane. He's supposed to be the lane dominator. He's supposed to win against the lane, and they want to make sure that that is the case. They don't want the Musashi to slow him down, slow down his farm, and you know, just create havoc here. Lane is stronger towards the late game just because of the team fight, but here 3 heroes from the side of Waibo hanging out towards the mid. Loops will mirror the same thing as well, putting 3 heroes towards the mid. They leave the Musashi there to just as a body in the mid to try and stall things out.
Bottom lane. We have a fight going on to the bottom lane part of the map. Super low in HP is JD already getting CC'd here and there by Mithy using the Lianpo. So that was looking scary. Again, even though with the cleanse, legal immunity, he's not super safe because we are talking about a lot of CC to deal with.
Yeah, JD is a bit behind in terms of the levels. He has to watch out. His HP is not that high as well. The Lianpo as well as Zeri on the Arlie definitely can find an opening to pick him off. And Direnje is one of those heroes where you want him to get off to a good start. You want him to snowball in towards a beast in the mid lane, mid game. So any kills early on is going to be trouble. But meanwhile, top lane, they're trying to engage on towards Guiyu. But this is deja vu. Remember the double Q that Guiyu got? This might be another situation just like that. But looks like Loops is gonna learn from the lessons of All Gamers Global, and they're gonna back off, not gonna commit too much to try and defend this tower. And this Azure Golem is going to be attempted to be stolen here by Waibo, and it looks like Loops is not gonna do anything about it. They're just gonna let them have it and get a steal of their own on the other side as well, giving it towards the side of Zeri.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the cross-map plays there in a way. Don't engage in a fight, you cannot win. So it seems like, again, they're being very careful in here. They want to make sure that they go onto the late game and avoid giving more kills onto, or giving any first blood kill onto the side of Waibo Gaming, because you don't want the power spike to come off of the Renji. But yeah, for the meantime though, I love how safe they are onto the bot, but hold it onto the top side. Flash already has been used in here, but they continue to engage. Look at the first blood coming from our Lady Gem, thanks to the backup, of course, coming from Ogran, going for that path of passing, followed up by the Conductor of Soul. But then again, Renji will just be trying to play safe onto the bot.
Yep, Zeri tried to open things up there, but Mithy was a bit too far. As a Golem, the Crimson Golem in a bit of trouble. It will be calling the one to pick it up, so that's going to be early game lead going towards the way of the Malaysian squad right now. Bottom lane, Direnje has to watch out. This Lianpo can jump on you at any single time, and you can only purify one skill. Lianpo has 4 stuns.
True, that's what we're talking about. And it's not just Lianpo you have to worry about, because there's Kang, there's also ABH onto the Musashi. Again, we're talking about a lot of CCs in here, so I think he needs to make sure that there is some sort of additional backup to come his way. But hold of thought, because we have an invade happening here on the jungle camp of Loops. And I think it was stolen away, right? Kong Ling took it away from the side of Loops.
Only able to get the last hit, that's going to be huge there, because Musashi without the Sage Golem Azure Golem buff, he's not going to be as mobile, as tanky as he likes. So ABH not having the best game of his life at the moment. It is still only 1,000 gold lead though, going towards the way of Waibo Gaming. Not an insurmountable lead by any stretch of the imagination. So the next fight, as long as it goes decent for the way of Loops, they will find themselves back into this game.
That's so true. But for the meantime, objective is already up in here, and it seems like all of the teams are positioning themselves. Tempest for sure is going to be catching up with the Primal Portal. But for the meantime, look at the burst damage coming from the side of Loops.
JD.
Arlie locking some source of damage in here, but bursting down the life of JD in the process. But hold the thought, you are being sandwiched already. You weren't looking at Kongling in the process. I think that was a very aggressive move coming from Sarah in that bot lane engage.
Yeah, he couldn't get out, no more Parasol, everything's on cooldown. He just has to submit to his fate and maybe try and get a kill on his own on towards JD. But JD just played at too safe of a distance. They weren't able to get him to get the kill on towards JD, but at least they got the Tyrant going towards the way of Waibo as well. So net worth lead still 700 right now. Top lane Tempest trying to go for Gu Huai, but it's tough with Sunbin with Nono protecting him at the moment. So the Primal Bonds will stop Waibo Gaming to attempt on towards this Overlord. Not that the Overlord is very important at this point of game, but it is still a little bit of an objective that Waibo would have loved to gun.
That's so true, and I think they're just waiting for a potential gank in here that could happen. But in any case, everyone's just scattered around the map right now. Will there be a potential kill onto the Byron? Look at the damage early on coming from Sarah. I think if given a chance, she's able to free hit at any point in time. It will be something that is wonderful for the side of Luz. But that is not happening right now. Well, said Waibo Gaming, but hold on, look at that! Kang is gonna fall down. Really nice combination of skill coming from our Lady Jen in there, freezing him, not able to just flash away in the process.
Tank being the mid laner usually don't build too tanky, that's why he just fell very quickly here, and that gives the opening for Waibo to go towards the tier 2 tower. Here backline Kongling being a one-man army, really pushing two heroes back. The Arlie as well as the Lianpo could not join their team in time to defend the tier 2 tower. So this game fully in control of Waibo Gaming right now, and Loops trying to find an opening. Here comes the Tremor towards the back lines, only knocking up Nono.
No.
The silence comes in by the Sunbin as well to try and stall them, but not enough follow-up, not enough damage on both ends. So it's just going to be a trade of ultimate cooldowns, but no kills going on either side.
Oh no, yeah, that Tremor Smash could have been a game changer, but with the movement speed provided by Nuo, they're just like, you know, okay, we're gonna be backing away really quickly with the additional movement speed that we have. But I think somehow Tempest is trying to make some cross-map play onto the top side part of the map just to, you know, pressure Waibo Gaming onto trying to separate themselves. But hold on, because ABH will fall down already. Will there be a chase onto Tempest? Is he going to be locking down? Going to be making use of the death at sunset? Will he be able to save his life under the tower right now? To no afford, he will fall down. Wow, this is now, I think, a Waibo Gaming just wanting to capitalize on their lead right now.
Yep, 2 kills on very crucial heroes from the side of Loops. That's Waibo Gaming's time signal to just go full on pressure, get every single objective on the map, take away all the jungle creeps from your opponents, and look for the next opening to push up to the high ground. The Shadow Tyrant as well as Overlord is about to spawn, so that's going to be the target for the side of Waibo before they try and push up towards this high ground. But first, they want to try and get a pick off. This might be Lianpo. Mitty is able to back off for now, though. Here comes the Ogren towards the back. Huge silence. And here comes the Ogren, uncontested, undefeated, Oh, the Musashi caught out in a bad place. ABH in trouble. ABH will fall. Arlie dropping down very low. Ogren going for more. Another hero goes down. Temper's low. The Emperor has to use the flash to back off. But this might be too much there for Loops to hold back. Double kill going towards the way of Kongling. And this might be an opening. No, the crit rate is a bit too far for them to push up to the high ground. So they will be content with taking every single jungle camp away from Loops and then head for the Tyrant.
I really commend the setups that Guhua is actually doing in here. He just, you know, disappears or hides in the bushes. Just wait for that setup to actually go into process. We take a look at this one. It's actually already started when Lady Jen actually go for that slow and freeze onto his targets. Members on the side of a team, Loops in here, tried to go for a play, but then again, we're talking about a free hitting D-Renji onto the back line. At the same time, Ogren with some itemization for some sustain already. He is just healing himself. Almost unlimited.
Too much to deal with there with the lifesteal, and they don't really have any way to stop his healing at the moment. If you look at the itemizations, no venomous staff, no way to stop the healing, no way to stop the regeneration coming from the Ogren. So that is something that they have to look out for. If they don't build the correct items, they're gonna have a tough time killing off this Ogren, who is gonna have the time of his life, just continuously regenerating in every fight.
It's true. Well, they do have the Blazing Cape on the Elaine and the Musashi, but then again, these two are getting killed like very quickly as they try to go for the flank and the front line, with the damage coming from the Lady Jen as well as the D-Renji. But then again, I think they need to be very careful because they are being seen in the map right now. Look at the silence coming from our Sunbin right now, just allowing the rest of the members of Team Waibo to free hit. More kills in here. Look at what Kongling is doing, just basically providing the space very much needed for his teammates to actually take down the turrets. The question is, this gonna be it? They're trying to focus fire on the crystals. Remember, the side of Team Lux is trying to still defend on this one, but in the process they will fall down. ABH too. But then again, look at this. In the process, we will get a pause. Okay, that was like climax breaking, but oh, this is pretty close. I wonder if this is it, Zero.
At this point, I don't think it matters too much. There's only one player left alive from the side of Loops, and you know, all 5 heroes from the side of Weibo Gaming are still alive. They can go for the crystal right away. And yeah, I don't see, like, you know, this pause really making a huge difference in the game at all. Nono was AFK for at least 10 seconds. That might have been his device crashing, or maybe disconnections coming on his end. But just you know, some technical issues do happen. You know, they can be very unforeseen. There's a lot of things that's happening that can cause these issues. But hey, it didn't affect the outcome of the last team fight at all, just because Nono, his team was winning with him not really using any single skill. So it's not gonna affect the outcome whatsoever. It's just they want to make sure that, you know, everybody's back in the game to make sure that Weibo Gaming is able to finish things off, because 4 heroes are already dead with the Arlie trying to run away back to his fountain. I think that was the situation before the pause came in. So this is looking like it's pretty much over there for Loops. Unless some miracle happens.
Some miracle happened. Like, you know that, I don't know if you saw that meme where in Hino, but there's no Hino in here. Going for the Fate Rewind onto the crystal. Well, that's just a meme. That couldn't happen.
Heal it back to full.
Right. Right. Well, that's pretty impossible. It was already mentioned in the description that it's just gonna be the towers. But yeah, then again, I mean, I love the space being created by the Ogren in here for sure. The itemizations is already in there, able to somehow tank the front line and just allowing Lady Jen and D-Renji to go for that free hit onto the back line as well. Mostly D-Renji onto the focus onto the towers, because that's his primary job. The rest will just be creating the space for him to go for that purpose in or role in this particular composition. But yeah, the crystal was just like about 15% HP, so it could just like be a focus fire, but it could also be momentum breaking. We'll just have to find out as we go for a resume. And this is actually a wipeout. They're just gonna be waiting off on the minion waves to crash in, but they're already focus firing in here. And here we go as Waibo Gaming takes that win up against Loops. Wow.
That was very impressive showing there by Waibo. They don't look too tired. They don't feel too tired to take the win against Loops. And that was a very convincing win. I think throughout the entire game, it didn't feel like, you know, Waibo Gaming really lost any form of control over the map. And that was just a very impressive showing there.